Okay, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Isa, and I was born as a Marcus in Munich in 1972. And I was a child of my father is he's working for the state, and my mom is a housewife, alhamdulillah, and she was also a kindergarten worker. So, and I was born in Munich, and we stayed until I was 5 years old, and I don't remember really this time. And after this, we moved to Paris, and then I grew up until 11 in Paris, in France. Yeah, basically we are Protestant Christians, but I would say until I was 13 or 12, I didn't notice that we are anyway in a church or something else. I think the first time I realized church was with the passing away of my grandpa, when we went to the cemetery before to the church. This was basically the first time I was in touch with this so-called Christian church thing. But I remember that when I was child, like 6, 7, I have memories. Every time I was upset or sad, locked in my room, I was praying to God automatically, and talking like we say, a father. He's creator, we know, but like a child is talking to a good father. When you cannot talk anymore to your father, you talk to the God. So I remember there was natural belief from childhood on. Without any, I can't remember that I was taught about God or something. Yeah, basically I was in the middle school. After middle school I make apprenticeship. After the apprenticeship I was making my baccalaureate and my high school basically, and then I went to the army for 2 years, and after the army I started studying, which I broke up, and after 3 years of studying I broke up, and then I went on construction side. I worked on construction. Yeah, basically with all this working, I try of course just make my living. Basically also the surrounding was also non-religious at all. It's like already you see this with the marriage. Marriage was like old school. You don't marry, especially when you were living in cities, and I started living in cities like Hamburg, Cologne. So from this point on, everything is in deconstruction. When you don't believe in marriage anymore, so you are more in this flirting and having girlfriends, and then you don't take it so much seriously, and then you're starting with smoking, and then okay, smoking, then you can further other drugs maybe, and all this. So, and when it comes then to belief, you don't realize at all that there is a God, or that everything is just coincidence. Whatever happened is your mistake, and it's coincidence, and that's it. And with this, you get more and more psychic ill, I would say. It went so far that I scratched myself always. Basically it's nervosity, and you try to find, you feel there's something wrong inside of you, and you want to squeeze it out, to get it out, but to really realize what is the cause of it, you just think in medicine way, like, maybe I'm dirty, maybe I didn't wash myself enough, but basically you wash yourself and it's still happening. So until you find then the first would say, maybe it's psychology, and then alhamdulillah, I visit also a psychologic hospital for a while, and they helped me a little bit, at least to find the questions. They cannot help with answers, but they can help you to find the questions in life. Yeah, these questions were like, First of all, I realized that my real me was blocked in the age of 6, 7. I realized that through the punishment, and the outside was telling you, this is not you. You should do what we want. So you become them. But then there was still this old thinking of how to earn your life. So now you're thinking you're an artist. Oh, like you see everywhere. Oh, you're an artist. You should make your money out of it. But of course, if you start with, I was at that time 28, 29. If you start to be an artist with 29, your abilities are nothing compared to those who started with 8, 9. So I was in poetry, I wrote poems, and yeah, everything was, but I realized very quickly it's not about making money, it's about to learn to express yourself without filter. And in this period came then the real questions, why are you here? Why are you living? It can't be that you're just earning your money every day and then on the weekend you're drinking. By this I analyzed, of course, my family, and I saw that my family is also, especially my father, is in the system, and he's a slave of the system, and he loves it, because it gives him security. But it's a fake security, of course, because whoever thinks that he's free of Allah, it will not work. So, but basically with this, I cut more and more. It was already happening that I cut the connection with my parents, and I tried to find people who are fitting to me, the new me, who are trying also to get along in a certain way. And but also there I realized very quickly that after I lost my family, I realized also that you cannot count on your friends. But there's something inside of us who is asking for a strong bond. So, and when I was sitting in this emotion of nobody loves you, nobody needs you, nobody is there for you, on the other hand, with the full consciousness about you can't ask this from somebody, it's too much. Even your wife or anybody else, he can't be there for you 24/7, like your mother was there for you 24/7 when you were in the belly. In the moment you come out, she's not there for you anymore 24/7, and this break makes a big break for you in your consciousness. And from this moment you lose trust in everybody. Allah is so big and so unique for everybody, like we are. But we try, and that's why also when I came to Islam, I realized it's good to have a common rule, a common ground. Like we need the Sharia as a common ground for being together. So, okay, you can go a little bit outside of this common ground, doesn't matter. You're not out, but at least there are borders where you should not go. It's like we don't walk naked on the street because it's embarrassing for everybody else. So, okay, you can feel fine and your God is okay with you, but it doesn't work like this. If you want community, we need certain borders and rules. That's why we come together and we say, we follow Rasulullah because he gave us the best and the widest expression of everything. When you know that whatever you need is coming automatically to you, how will it change your life with this knowledge? And especially when you see that God have a plan and you ask him, what is a plan? You will not believe what is a plan. So that's why he's giving you just step by step. And you have to learn, go step by step. And don't wait for the things to come to you first. No, go first a step and then the things are coming which you need. So I practiced this for 2 years then, with apartment, everything. But now my jobs changed. I was more looking for jobs where I can make service to the people, like restaurants, especially because I loved the owner of the restaurant. He was a very good person, so to serve him, to help him to make his business running. And I didn't look how much I earned there. So long I could pay my rent, it was okay for me. And I had also, he gave me a lot of free time, so this was very important for me at that time, to have free time to have this experience with God. But after 2 years, suddenly I had a different job where I could earn a lot more money and have a lot more free time. And when this job came to me, suddenly this inner voice came back to me and asked me, what you want to believe? In God or money? And I was knowing of course I want to choose God, but somehow I felt directly, if you want God, then leave everything behind. So I was knowing, in this night I was packing my things. I stick the key in the door, and I went out and left my apartment, my everything. I wrote a notice. I said, take everything, I don't come back. So, okay, if somebody was inviting you to his house to sleep there, okay. But if not, then I'm not knocking the doors. I sleep outside. Because I took everything, what Allah wants will come to me. And yeah, I lived 3 years like this. I traveled a lot of countries. And I had then, after 1 year, I had a rule not to say no. To learn to accept everything what is coming. And it was very funny because at that time I stopped with alcohol and those things, and this moment I accepted this rule for myself that whatever comes I say yes. And so then it took me, that's why I can say it took me, I didn't run, it took me straight to Morocco. And Morocco was the first Muslim country. I was living like this. And in Europe, I got only bad eyes on me. What are you doing? Are you crazy? All these kinds of talkings. But when I came to Muslim countries, suddenly they looked at me like, wow, we didn't know that those kinds of people still exist. So I was more like a superstar. Before I was a beggar on the street, and in Muslim country I was a superstar. Like, wow, how can you live like this? And I realized there was suddenly a new connection. New people I could connect, which was closed for me before. I think a lot of Muslims thinking when people convert to Islam, or I used to say embrace Islam, the most I would not say, but a lot of rewards saw something which brings them to first to God, and then they need a religion for this. After a while you need a religion, because you see that I was living with a lot of believers. They all believed in God, but we had no religion. So we were like puzzling together, but not fitting together at all. There was no harmony. Everybody have his view on God, and the harmony was missing. So it takes time to accept. The ego don't want to accept it at all. But also there, Islam is a religion without oppression. There's no force in Islam. So even your ego you cannot force. You are not allowed to force your ego. You have to convince it. So I went to see a sheikh with her, and I said, yes, why not? So what I have to do, and then they said, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. And succeed in this test, I think I was accepted in Islam, so Alhamdulillah. So before they asked me to speak Shahada, I was asking them that I heard that when you come to Islam, you get a new name. And so I asked if I can have 2 names. So I asked for the name Mohammad Isa. And they said, yes, yes, if you like to be Mohammad Isa, okay, no problem. So the Sheikh was giving me the names Mohammad Isa. The first thing which I liked very much, because as I said, I had this, after all this revelation in my life, I had this problem to explain it to people. And when I spoke Shahada, La ilaha illallah, there is no God than God, it explained exactly what I want to say. It was fitting everything in one sentence. And it was for me, if now somebody asked me about God, I said La ilaha illallah. And it said everything. Can't be more precise, more focused, more things. Islam have the biggest knowledge about life, here dunya-wise, also for akhirah of course, but dunya-wise, how to live in the best way together, how to manage life together. So it's basically a religion also for communities where we have good rules to live together. Breaking the children's, so that's why the children's are looking for something else. So the good knowledge get lost, and yeah, where the children's are running to is the example of the free life of the Western world, and they don't realize yet how much is harming themselves and the community. And we will see, like we see in Europe, we don't have children anymore. Basically, like also Rasul for 10 years and more, they surrendered and forgive and forgive and forgive. But one day you have to stand up against the oppressor and saying no. You know, so it's very important to say no. We don't want anymore this liberalism. There are lines which we should not cross, and do what you want in your private life, but keep it private. And I think this is a very good way. Even for normal people, we are also not going on the street and showing our sexuality. This is something private, you do it at home, keep it there, and don't make publicity for it, basically. So this is one way of this. In Germany, they destroy now our language with genderism. It's horrible, and the people even don't know how to talk anymore properly. So we have to come back, and Alhamdulillah, what I learned is the Sunnah of Rasul is the key for everything. We have the keys in our hands, we just have to apply it. So we have to come back. We have to realize that this democracy is not the way to guide a community or guide a society. Okay, we have to form maybe circles where the oldest people or the knowledgeable people sit together and discuss, but at the end we need somebody who is really in power and saying, okay, let's do it like this. It's not a dictator, but the old way of Muslims, Ottoman way, was quite good. Maybe not perfect, we can do it maybe still better, because the best was Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.